Welcome back. Just like we said before the break, it started raining. The bad part when it rains is the fact that once it starts raining, NEPA turns off the light. I
Oh,
still call them
yes.
NEPA, the power holding company. However, we have seen how every year we have erosion and flooding
Flooding.
issues around the country. And so we have joining us Dr. Mohammed Goje, who's Executive Secretary of the State Emergency Management Agency in Yobe. Good morning, Dr. Goje. Let's talk about how the efforts of your state and SEMA as we're entering another rainy season, first of all.
Thank you very much. Good morning, and I'm happy to join you and other viewers across the country on this very noble network to say a word or two on the coming season. And actually, for us in Yobe State, just like other states and the country at large, we have reviewed the NIMED prediction and other global and other national prediction as it regards to the seasonal rainfall that we are facing. Already rain has started setting in, and in some places, even the previous challenges and gaps that has been that affected the communities are yet to be fully rectified. But in Yobe State, His Excellency Governor Buni, even before the season sets in, has directed SEMA to take all necessary measures, especially in line with NIME prediction, call stakeholders, religious leaders, community leaders, and also partners, humanitarian partners, and disseminate the findings to them. Already, we have set this ball rolling. We have called stakeholders across local government level, Ministry of Environment, and Ministry of Religious Affairs to key into the findings, look at it. How do we communicate with the communities? Let the communities know time to move out, time to clear the gutters, and let them ensure that these predictions are not just to discourage them or to disenfranchise them, but rather to protect them and protect their lives and protect their properties. Already, we have seen first rainfalls in our communities, and there are communities that have been on alert for evacuation since last year and they refuse. But this time around, we are trying to ensure that we have used enabling laws to evacuate them to a safe location so that we don't repeat what has happened the previous season.
Yeah. So, what efforts have been made to educate members of these communities and Nigeria in general in order to avoid certain issues that occurred last year, the flooding, erosions, and all of that? What form of education has been given to them in order to live right? For example, you mentioned clearing of the gutters and all of that. So, what efforts have been made to educate Nigerians in order to avoid these issues this year?
The first effort that is made is for NIMED to disseminate their findings, and they have done that. And the NIMED findings, though these are just prediction, but they are guiding documents, these are guiding principles. So the other effort is at our own state level, we will liaise with the Ministry of Information and media houses to call on the community. Of course, we have a long-age culture that people don't like moving away from their community that they are used to. We'll use the relevant Ministry of Information houses to call them to, together with government, impose those relevant measures that will protect the communities. But of course, there are measures that are beyond the level of communities. These are government that will do. Even as simple as linking some of the gutters to waterways across outside the communities are things that government can do. And for Yobe State, His Excellency Governor Buni has already set motion in place, directed Ministry of Works that for every gutter that needs clearance, high servicing equipment should be used to do that. And for communities that use major repairs, that also should be done before the rain season has set in. We have over 27 roads that were destroyed last year. And I'm happy to say that as it is today, over 21 are repaired and some repairs are ongoing. And this takes a lot of planning effort to achieve that. But this year's prediction is a bit scaring, and we cannot run away from the fact and deny that it will happen. Certainly, it will come. So, preparation to prevent with community leaders, sensitization during Friday prayers, church services are our targets going into this month.
Okay, finally, Dr. Goje, Yobe State has experienced a lot of conflict and insurgency. What's the status at the moment when it comes to insecurity, and what's the process, ongoing process on re-engaging and reintegrating the citizens from the rural community who moved to the urban community? What's the status right now?
Thank you very much. You even said we are currently at the humanitarian development nexus, and His Excellency Governor Boli has ensured that all partners in the state should key into the state development plan in terms of recovery and integration of victims of Boko Haram crisis and other conflicts of non-state armed groups. So at the moment, our effort is centered towards the communities that have enjoyed peace, that have not seen major conflict during the Boko Haram season, to stabilize them, discourage their youth from joining the sects, and we do that through massive infrastructure, massive development, massive livelihood support to both the youth, women, and the elderly. And for the communities that are returning, what is being done is, first, the government ensures that the communities are receptive in the sense that roads are constructed back, police stations are reconstructed, civil service have returned, and there are medical facilities. So this has encouraged most of the communities to return. As I speak to you now, only few localities, I think one or two, that have not fully returned back to their communities. Of course, there are one or two potholes, issues of cases that used to happen, but then with the return of peace, with the return of people in the community, it gives hope to the people, and you will be surprised that people are now protecting their communities. Any new incident that they see, they report to the security agencies. Any abnormal behavior they see, they report. And this has really helped the securities in protecting the lives and property of those that have returned. So in summary, reintegration entails providing the enabling environment. Governor Buni has done that. Integration entails the community owning the process. So every construction that we do now, whether through government or through partner, be it school, be it water, we ensure that community are part of the process from bottom-top approach, so that they own the process, they feel it's their own, and at the end, they will protect for the betterment of their own use. And it goes a long way in ensuring that schools are rebuilt and schools are accessible in those communities. That's why over 3 international IDP schools were built by Governor Buni, and mega schools were reconstructed and rebuilt to encourage the returning communities go back to school and discourage their children from joining any non-state armed groups.
Thank you very much, Dr. Goje. Always a pleasure hearing from you. And to Nigerians, look, the rains are back. We need to ensure that we prepare beforehand. We need to ensure that we aren't pouring garbage and litter in drainage systems, because at the end of the day, that's how we have our own issues. That's the much we can bring to you for today's episode. We want to thank all of you for constantly joining us and watching. If you missed bits of today's show, you can check on YouTube, Weekend Show NG.